morning, I am Christian Eric Catan. I'm the one who assigned to discuss the history of Colegio de San Juan de Letran. Colegio de San Juan de Letran, or simply Letran, is a private Roman Catholic institution of learning located here in Intramuros, Manila. The school has the distinction of being the oldest college in the Philippines and the oldest secondary institution in Asia. It is owned and administered by the friars of the orders of preachers of the Philippine Dominican province. The school has produced the Philippine president, revolutionary heroes, poets, legislators, members of the clergy, tourists, and it is the only Philippine school that produces several Catholic saints who live and study in the campus. Letran contains two statues representing the two foremost alumni in the fields of secular and religious service. The statue of former Philippine President Manuel L. Quezon and the statue of the Vietnamese saint Vicente Leon de la Paz. There are 9 buildings inside in the campus. The Saint John the Baptist building, Saint Dominic de Guzman building, Saint Raymond of Peñafort building, the Saint Albert the Great building, Saint Antoninus building, Saint Thomas Aquinas, Saint Vincent Ferrer building, the San Vicente Leon de la Paz dormitory,
Totong na si Gasta, pre.
and the school gymnasium. The name San Juan de Letran was derived from the Basilica of St. John Lateran in Rome, was considered as the mother church of Christendom. Early in the history of the Colegio, its chapel was granted many of the privileges enjoyed by the major basilica. St. John the Baptist is for whom the basilica was named, is the patron saint of this school. He was, and while his patroness is Our Lady of the Most Holy Rosary. The Colegio de San Juan de Letran was originally founded in the year 1620 by Don Juan Jeronimo Guerrero. Don Guerrero is a retired Spanish officer and one of the Knights of Malta. And this Colegio was originally named as the Colegio de Niños Huérfanos de San Juan de Letran. And the school was intended to educate and mold orphans to be a good Christian citizen. Around the month of May in the year 1632, Fray Diego de Santa Maria was arrived at the Santo Domingo convent from Spain via Mexico. He was officially assigned to the same convent on April 23, 1633, and he founded the Colegio de Huérfanos de San Pedro y San Pablo. As Don Guerrero grew old, the two schools were fused together, and in the year 1706, the provincial chapter of the Dominican of the Philippines decided to adopt officially the name Colegio de San Juan de Letran in memories of its first founder, Don Guerrero. During World War II, the growth of the Colegio was temporarily arrested when the building was bombed in 1941 and turned into the garrison by the Japanese Army in 1944. The Colegio was temporarily housed in the Dominican Church and Convent of San Juan del Monte. In school year 1942, classes were temporarily transferred to the Dominican Sanctuario of San Juan del Monte. After the war, Letran returned to its home in Intramuros and resumed operation in 1946. Several new construction projects were inaugurated to replace the old structure wrecked by the war.
Go.
In recent history, the school began accepting the female students in the college department in the 1970s, while the grade school and high school departments started accepting female enrollees in June 2005. In April 2007, Father Tarmalin Lana Father Tarmalin Lana was elected rector and president of Letran of the Intramuros and the Bukay campuses
Narinig pala dito.
Board of Trustees to serve a 4-year term until April 20
Puputi ng paper.
April 2011.
Puputi ng paper.
Malaki na hiwan.
Mother Lana became the 88th rector of the Manila campus. In October 2007, 2 former Lutheran administrators were among the 498 Spanish martyrs beatified by Pope Benedict XVI. They are Father Jesus Villaverde Andres, a former rector, and a Father Antonio Barono Ortega, a former professor and a moderator of the NCAA Philippines. On July 3, 2008, Father Lana formally Father Lana formally launched the Lutheran Center for Intramuros
Piningina mo. Ang ingay mo.
or LCIS. The initiative to establish the center sprang from the 12-year development plan as a school hope to become a leader in cultural and historical studies,
Maganda
particularly
pa
on the
yung
subject of
band paper
Intramuros.
lang. So, para hindi makakanginan. Okay na?
I'm Jan Robin Valderrama. I'm going to discuss the Bahay Chinoy. A museum located in the old city of Intramuros, section of Manila. Housed within Kaisa Angelo King Heritage Center building. Bahay Chinoy is a museum that documents the history of Chinese in the Philippines. The lives and contribution of Chinese in the Philippine life and history of the Philippines. As it designs this is Eva Penamora. Identical ang famous design of Eva Penamora in collaborate with that was designed by Eva Penamora with collaboration of Conrado Fernandez in 1996. In 1999 it was inaugurated.
1999.
Kahit yung first paragraph na, pre.
Good morning. I present to you the history of Manila Cathedral, or the Minor Basilica of the Immaculate Conception is a Roman Catholic in the capital of the Philippines. The Cathedral of Archdiocese of Manila, located in the centuries-old called Intramuros, thus
Huwag kang punos ng punos.
originally built in 1581, made of nipa and bamboo, and was destroyed by a typhoon in 1582. Present cathedral was constructed in 1954 and was inaugurated on December 8, 1958 under the Archbishop Rufino Jao Santos of Manila and with the supervision of national artist for architecture Fernando Ocampo. It was elevated into the rank of Minor Basilica in 1981 by Pope John Paul II.
Okay na? 3, yan.
The main facade is replica of the original facade of the previous cathedral, along with the statues of famous saints sculpted in Roman travertine stone. In the previous cathedral, they were originally made of Molabe wood. The statue of Saint Rose of Lima was sculpted by Angelo Patinasi, while Saint Jacob, Saint Andrew, and Saint Anthony the Abbot was done by sculptor Livia Papini, Saint Francis Xavier, Saint Polycarp,
Tama na ba?
Tama na yan, Ricardo.
Gerald Solosa. I'm here to present the history of Baluarte de San Diego. It was located along the walls of Intramuros. It was designed and built by Jesuit priest Antonio Sedeno from 1586 to 1587. It is one of the oldest stone fortification in Intramuros. This site is currently maintained as an archaeologically maintained. This site is currently maintained as an archipelago site and gardens and were added to make Baluarte de San Diego more appealing to visitors and more suitable for special occasions. It is open for the public but may be rented for private functions. Baluarte de San Diego was bridged by British forces in 1762 and it was restored and strengthened when the Spaniards returned. But was damaged and abandoned after the 1862 earthquake. It was totally destroyed during the Battle of Manila in 1945, but the restoration began in 1979. It was complete in 1992. Though one will notice that the structure is very old and has molds on it, but it preserves the glory of history in it. By the way,
good afternoon, I'm John Conrad Tabunan, as represent to discuss Reducto de San Pedro. Moving further down Santa Lucia Street, turning southwest Victoria Street in the Baluarte de San Jose. On top of Boston was military known as the #1 Victoria Street. This was the headquarters of Douglas MacArthur when was appointed as the commander of the USA FFP. Below Boston is a tunnel of a footbridge leading to Reducto de San Pedro. Reducto de San Pedro is a close to the public. It stands aground from a wall. It has used a gunpowder and also provide additional fortification. It said be almost intact after the liberation, reportedly as a beautiful brick interior. Ayan na, meron na.
Good afternoon. I'm Jefferson Adams P. Basto. I'm the one to discuss the history of Puerta de Santa Lucia. Puerta de Santa Lucia, a further 5-minute walk down General Luna Street in the same direction. After 2 blocks, turn right and walk down Calle Real until you reach the Puerta de Santa Lucia. Puerta de Santa Lucia facing Melaon Drive is one of several gates passing through the Intramuros walls. First built in 1603, Puerta de Santa Lucia leads directly to Melaon Drive, a popular promenade ground through a restored cobblestone bridge. Passers-by get a close-up look at the thick stone walls and moats that skirt Intramuros borders. Upon a time, Intramuros was Manila. No one could enter but the Spanish, their servants, and the half Spanish Filipinos. Outside Manila, Filipinos and Chinese merchants. The latter were forced to live in a ghetto that was conveniently located within range of Intramuros cannons in case the Chinese revolted against Spanish.
Good afternoon, I'm Marverick Martinez. I present the history of San Agustin Church. One of the four Baroque churches of the Philippines, described in 1993 on the World Heritage List. First one to the 1972 UNESCO Convention concerning the protection of the world cultural and natural heritage. The Church of San Agustin possesses an exceptional universal value that deserves protection for the benefits of the humanity. Oldest stone church in the Philippines, plans were approved in 1586. Construction started in 1587 and complete in 1607 under the supervision successfully of San Agustinian Father Francisco de Bustos, Alfonso Perez, and Diego de Avila, and Brother Alonso de Rea.
The Jesus built the church in honor of their founder, Ignatius of Loyola, at two different sites. The Italian Jesus, Prince Architect Gian Antonio Campioni design. The first San Ignacio, the church was complete in 1632. Campioni designed the first San Ignacio. This was actually the third church built by the Jesus at the site presently occupied by the Kamantasan ng Maynila. A first church of wood with a tile roof was built in 1587 with donation from the Oidor Don Gabriel de Rivera. A second church of stone was built between 1996, following plans drawn up by the Jesus Antonio Cedeno. The church was modeled upon Second Jesus, the Jesus Mother Church in Rome. The church was damaged by the earthquake of 1600. The stone church was dedicated. The third church, now dedicated to San Ignacio, who was canonized in 1622 and complete 6 years later. The church as it came from Campioni may have been more Italianate Baroque rather than Spanish. In 768, the Jesuits were expelled from the Philippines, and in 1852, the church was damaged beyond repair by the earthquake, September 6 in 1852. And now at present, the San Ignacio has been cleaned, and the area around is used for events and performance organized by the Department of Tourism. The interior of San Ignacio is used for exhibits and theatrical production during the dry season on September to May. Kaya mo yan, mali yan.
Pag tumunog. Good afternoon, I'm Lalena Sigate. As a present, Valvartillo and De Francisco. Built in 1662 as part of the seafront defense line of Intramuros. Original rampart extended a certain wall after a section was destroyed. In the 1645 earthquake, Reducto built in 1773 by military engineer Dionisio O. Kelly, also called Reducto de San Diego, finished in 1775, used as storage chambers, became part of the Manila arsenal of the U.S. Army. Severely damaged in the Battle of Manila in 1945. Valvartillo restored in the 1950s and Reducto in 1983.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marjan Arellano. We're in Port Santiago. Port Santiago is the one of the most tourist spot in Intramuros. One of the oldest fortification in Manila, built in 1571 on the site of native settlement of Sulaiman. First port was the Pasilidad structure full of logs of earth, destroyed in the Lumihong attack in 1574. Stone from built between 1589 and 1592. Damage in the 1645 earthquakes prepared to the strength head from 1658 to 1663. Became the head earthquake of the British occupation army of 1762 to 1764. Repaired and renovated in 1778. Former headquarters of the Philippine Division of the U.S. Army, occupied by the Japanese military in 1972, where hundreds of civilians and guerrillas are imprisoned, tortured, and executed, destroyed in the Battle of Manila in 1945. Used as depot of the U.S. Transportation Corps before turnover to the Philippines government in 1946. Declared Shrine from Freedom in 1950. Restoration and maintenance in the port began in 1951 under the National Park Development Committee. Management was turned over the Intramuros administration in 1992. That's all.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Reggie Leo. We are here inside the Rizal Shrine. Rizal Shrine is a modern museum built in 1953 and the houses of the memorabilia of national heroes, Jose Rizal. Our national hero cell was in the former Cuatro de Respeto or storage area or pantry. A model of the cell during his imprisonment is one of the main attractions of the shrine. In 1996, the shrine was renovated as a part of the conventional celebration of Rizal, martyrdom, in the Philippines Revolution.